Super League 360 after the Hooter, Hull KR 30, Brisbane Broncos 24, Hull KR officially the World Club champions, John.
Yes, remarkable scenes here in Hull. Just a really crazy, mad, insane game. Hull KR looked to have the game won with about 20 minutes to go, and then Brisbane just were on fire. They were red hot, and they almost stole it at the end.
Tell us what was the atmosphere at the ground like, John? You're in the press box there at MKM Stadium.
Yeah, it's an amazing atmosphere. Sellout here, 25,000. A sea of red. Obviously, this is Hull FC's home ground, and Hull KR are their rivals, but there's red and white flags all over. Great light show. They had Reverend and the Makers playing a band, playing all kick-off and a half-time, and yeah, just a really, really good atmosphere. What has been, I guess, one of the best probably World Cup challenges ever, I would say.
It was a great game, certainly. It was almost a game of two halves. People would have been cock-a-hoop there in the first half. Broncos basically made 4 errors early in the tackle count by dropping the ball. Staggs, Walsh in particular are the 2 names that spring to mind. And basically, Hull KR capitalised on all those.
Yeah, I mean, the mistakes early on from Brisbane were shocking. As you said, Staggs, Walsh, I think Karapani and Mariner all dropped balls under the high ball. They were very, very dodgy. And Hull KR were playing near perfect footy for, I think, 55 minutes. And they really made them pay. And it was, I wouldn't say it was a game of 2 halves. I'd say it was a game of 1 quarter and 3 quarters.
Yeah.
I mean, Brisbane was so good in that last bit, but it would have been very unfair, I think, on Hull KR for them to have lost that game.
I think Hull KR did too much for the Broncos to catch up with, but honestly, it would have been squeaky bum time in that second half because Broncos certainly clicked a little bit in attack, didn't they, John?
Yeah, they did. I mean, once Brisbane started to move the ball around, get their offloads going, they looked really dangerous. And the speed of the game, the speed of the ruck, Hull KR really struggled to do anything there. And you could tell the panic for Hull KR. I mean, Willie Peters was down on the sideline, and there were a lot of worried faces, but they just held on. They just did enough to win the World Cup Challenge for the first ever time in the club's history in 130-odd years. So it's a massive moment for Hull KR.
Well, York Knights could claim to be the world champions now after beating Hull KR last week. But using that game, using that game as an example, the Hull KR attack looked a lot better today, particularly in the other half of the field when they were attacking the Broncos.
Yeah, it was. I mean, their short kicking game was very good. They just didn't seem to have an answer to Tyrone Main's grubbers and the other grubbers that the Hull KR players had. And I think also Jez Litton was phenomenal. The way he darted out a double half, his passing game, he really, kept the Brisbane markers on alert. And I think he was probably the man of the match for me.
He's been given it. He's been given it officially here on the TV. I thought you were at the ground, John. I've got this covered here now. What does this mean? What does this win mean for Hull Kingston Rovers, do you think? What does this win mean for Super League?
Yeah, it's huge for Hull Kingston Rovers. Obviously, they've never won it before. They've never been in it. So, the upset last week at York was a bit of a slap in the face, but this is an indicator that, no, they are the real deal and they can, be a force for years to come. And the club's on a hugely upward trajectory. For Super League, this is 3 World Cup Challenge wins in a row. Now, obviously, 2 of those have come in England, but the Broncos came here to win. They took it very seriously, and so did Penrith 2 years ago. So it's a huge shot in the arm for the British game for Super League, particularly on the back of the Ashes, which was so disappointing.
It's been a good fortnight for British Rugby League, no 2 ways about it. What about Brisbane? What do you think they'll take away from the game? And they're going to be starting in the NRL. Round 1 will be in the first weekend of March.
Yeah, I mean, they've got work to do. I think, they can't start a game as poorly as they did. And, expect, obviously, in the semi-finals, didn't they? They came back in every game and won each game and then won the grand final. But you can't give 30-point head start to your opposition. You can't make those kind of errors, those simple mistakes, and just hand the opposition field position on your try line, because they'll make it pay. Any good team will make it pay. So there's a lot. Yeah, I think Brisbane have got a lot of work to do.
They looked okay technically, Brisbane, for most of the game, I've got to be honest, but it was game management that was their problem. You've mentioned Jez Litton already, a couple of the best players for Hull KR and a couple of the best players for the Broncos in your eyes.
Yeah, I think Mikey Lewis and Tyrone May controlled the game really well. I think the wingers for Hull KR and the centres, their kick chase, Burgess, Gildart, Davies, they got through a lot of work in yardage, and I think they were all really impressive.
Hull KR have got Leeds next week. That will be a tough one for them to back up. Broncos have to get back to Australia, dust themselves off. Friday, the 6th of March, they've got the Panthers at home, so a very tough opening round for them too. So it could be a tough start to 2026 for the Broncos.
Sure, they've been training hard in the off-season, but you could say it's much harder to defend an NRL title than win one first time around.
That's right. What's next for you, John? Now is it to the press conference?
It'll be interesting what Michael Maguire's got to say about that game. It's quite a remarkable game.
Was there many press people there, John?
Yeah, there was a good turnout. The usual suspect. I wouldn't say there was a lot of the regulars, but a good contingent of maybe 20 to 30 press.
And what do you think is the main story to come from this game? What will you be leading with? What will some of those other journalists be leading with, do you think? What will we be reading tomorrow?
Well, I think it's history for OKR, isn't it? It's it's the rise of Willie Peters. It's the rise of the Robins. It's a very special night for OKR, but also I've got a piece for the Guardian website on the Broncos and on Payne Haas and all the questions around his defection to South Sydney. So for me, for an Australian audience, it's the Broncos and that historic move by Payne Haas to leave the club at the end.
You got a mention from Andrew Voss on Fox Sports, mate. So everybody knows you in Australia now. I'll let you go. You look cold. Go and get yourself warm.
Yes, it is very cold. So I'm going to head down.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
See you, mate.